I thank the Dean of our delegation for yielding me the time, and let me just say that it is a real privilege to serve in the Massachusetts delegation. I think some of the most colorful and effective political personalities have come from Massachusetts, and I'm proud to be part of this delegation, but I'm particularly proud to be part of a delegation that includes John Olver and Barney Frank. My new district includes many of the towns and cities that John Olver has represented over the years, and I've gotten to know, as I've gotten to know these communities, I've gotten to realize how much love that the people of these cities and towns have for John Olver, how much they appreciate his incredible work, and I have also come to appreciate all that he has done: transportation, infrastructure projects, new quality, affordable housing, protection of open space, daycare centers, support for colleges and universities, and I can go on and on and on. And as Nikki pointed out, his intellect is unequaled, and sometimes it's a little bit intimidating. I'm afraid to ask John Olver a question because I don't want to know that much. But nonetheless, there is nobody who knows more detail about every single project in every single community in his district than John Olver. You know, John's a quiet man, but he's a determined man, someone with deep, strong convictions, and someone who has a spine of steel. He cares about people halfway down the block, and he cares about people halfway around the world. I have the unique experience of engaging in civil disobedience with John, not once but twice, protesting the genocide in Darfur, and we shared time in a cell together on 2 different occasions. You know, a lot of people wouldn't expect John to be involved in that type of protest, but he was there. He was there because he thought it was important, and he thought it was important that the world know that people are watching what was happening in Darfur and in Sudan. He's taught me a lot, and I value his friendship very much. And I'm going to be his new congressman, so I expect I will hear from him on a regular basis. As for Barney, I will miss him, like everyone here, very, very much. When I was an aide to Joe Moakley in the early 1980s, no matter who Joe Moakley was meeting with, he'd have the TV on watching the proceedings on C-SPAN, but when Barney came to the floor, he'd tell everybody to be quiet, shut up, listen, this is going to be good. And he would increase the volume, and everybody would sit there and watch Barney Frank in action. There is no one I enjoy, there is no one I think most of my colleagues enjoy seeing debate on the floor than Barney Frank. And I would say that there is probably no one the Republicans fear more during debate than Barney Frank. He has the ability to be able to make the most important points, but also maintain a sense of humor. It has made him one of the reasons why he's been so effective. You know, I've had the good fortune of sharing communities with Barney over the years. We represented the city of Fall River together. And I think it's important for people to know that in addition to being this national leader, Barney Frank is also a very effective bread and butter, nuts and bolts politician who cared very, very deeply about every single issue that occurred in his district, whether it was, you know, a economic development initiative, whether it was a bridge or a road, whether it was, you know, helping a veteran get his medals from World War II, or helping Mrs. O'Leary find her lost Social Security check, or becoming the champion of fishermen on the East Coast. I mean, he immersed himself in these issues, and he was an unbelievably powerful spokesperson for all these issues. But Barney is not only, in my opinion, a great member of Congress, he's also a very, very good man. I mean, look at the causes that he has championed. We've heard about his efforts on behalf of LGBT rights, civil rights and human rights, affordable housing, you know, a voice for working families, reining in the excesses of these financial institutions on Wall Street. But for me, what I have admired about him is that he has been a steadfast and unequal voice on behalf of poor people in this country. And I regret very much that so much of what goes on here in Washington neglects paying attention to the very least among us. And Barney has been out there, even though it's unfashionable, talking about the need for affordable housing for people who are poor, making sure that people have enough to eat, making sure that people get what they need so they can have ladders of opportunity to succeed. And I'm going to miss his voice on those issues in particular, because to me it is so important. I happen to believe that if government stands for anything, it ought to stand for the most vulnerable in this country. So Barney, thank you. And one other thing, my mother wants you to run for Senate. She told you that in the airport. She wanted me to tell you that again. But I will close by saying it is with great affection and love and friendship and so much respect that I stand here tonight to pay tribute to two people who I think are giants in this institution, John Olver and Barney Frank. I thank the Dean for yielding me the time I yield.